What's up, guys? Autofanatic. We're going to do the full install of the real carbon fiber mirror caps for the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio on my car. Now, before we get started, I'm just going to show you. These are actually full carbon fiber made out of pre-pregged and then put in an autoclave. This is not a laminated OEM part, so these get mounted a little bit differently. Now, they make several versions of these. The cheap ones are 100. These are $450. They go up to $699 depending on who you buy them from. I suggest you get the better ones because when you put them on, it's going to be flush like the OEM. If you don't get the ones that are flush like the OEM, you're going to have a hard edge here, and the edge is most likely not going to be finished. It's just not going to look as good. So I suggest spend the money and get the ones from Italy, not the ones from China. So the tools we're going to use here: heat gun to get the originals off. Got some of my nylon wedges, acid brushes, my 3M 8223 loaded up with a new cartridge, 3M body shop tape as always, and we're going to get this started in a couple of minutes. This should be pretty quick. We're going to pop the originals off. We're going to get this on, test fit it, and bond it. Also, whenever you do mirror caps, I don't care what kind of car it is, always make sure when you open up the box you have a left and a right. I can't even tell you how many times we get these in for customers and they send doubles of the wrong side, and then we have to wait for new ones to come in. So always double check before you start a project that you have a left and side dependent mirror cap. So let's get over to the car and we're going to get this started for you in a couple of minutes. All right, guys, first order of business, you're always going to want to tape up the molded black plastic on the outer edge as you're prying this off. That'll just stop you from marring it and causing any issues. So we're going to use just a 3M. This is the 5/8 green, what they call the finish line tape, or fine line tape. This is what we use in the shop. And just go like that and go all the way around. Now, the way this cap is going to come off, you're going to have to find a recess to get your tool, and it's usually going to be by the lens, whether it's here or here, but we're going to heat this up so it's going to pop out safely. We're not going to have any issues. So let me just get the heat gun and we're going to get started. All right, guys, so we got the heat gun, and we're going to heat this up at setting 4 on my ultra heat gun. And as you go over, you're going to want to feel it. You don't want to scorch it, you don't want to melt it. You just want to soften up the plastic to make it more elastic so you can pop it off safely without cracking it. And on this car, you have to do it with the doors unlocked, otherwise the mirrors are going to fold themselves in. And I can actually hear the plastic starting to shrink by me introducing the heat, and that's what you want. Let's give that a shot. It's actually pretty cold out right now, so I got my tools in my back pocket. We're gonna go right down here. There we go. So he popped it with a little flat blade screwdriver. We can take the nylon wedge tools and we're gonna go up like this, and with no effort and no damage, we removed it. Just as simple as that. So you guys saw it there. Harmless. There's no dents. There's no cavities here. Now, the new piece doesn't have this particular tab molded in, just because this is probably too complicated to mold into a piece of carbon fiber, especially at that price. So it has the alignment tabs along the way. So now we're going to do a test fit. Take the tape off and we're going to see how it looks. They're a pretty tight fit. We're going to have to put some adhesive on these little tabs here and here and up here as well, and then we're gonna have to clamp this into place in order for it to fit properly. But this does fit nice and flush like the OEM mirror caps. So let me just get this on. Like that. So there's that little bit of squeeze pressure that you need to get it on, and once we bond it, I'm going to wrap it around with some tape, and that's going to clamp it into place. But you guys can see it right there. That's how it's going to look when it's finished, and it's perfectly flush because the mill thickness was compensated when these were made, exact same thickness as the OEMs, and a lot of the aftermarket ones are laminated over the OEMs. You're going to have a lip, an unfinished edge all the way around, and yeah, they'll snap in easier, but they're not going to fit as perfect as these right here. So let me just get my adhesive set up and mixed. We're going to put it on and we're going to get it installed for you guys in about a couple of minutes. All right guys, we're over on my workbench. I'm just going to load up, just put a new tip on my 8223 and get it in the gun. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a bead of glue all along this leading edge here on the bottom and a little bit on the top, and that's going to pretty much bond it into place permanently. All right, we're back, so you can see the bead of glue we got over there, so we're going to go put it back on the car right now. Don't worry about using glue because it takes a little bit of while to set up, and we're going to go in there and clean the seams off anyway. I mean, these things are a little bit more involved than the snap-on ones, but I just wanted to get a better OEM fit, and this was the only option available to me. Okay. That's that. Clean that up. So here we go. So we're going to use the thicker 3M tape as a clamping mechanism while this cures. So that's that. We're going to come back in about 30 minutes. We're going to undo the tape and we're done. So this particular edge right here, we have a little bit of squeeze out, and we're just going to clean that up just like this to get some of that glue out of there. You see it on the tip, and it's going to give it a consistent finish. I mean, these are a little bit of a pain to put on, so not exactly a simple DIY for a lot of guys, and I would suggest if you don't have experience doing this, go to a really good body shop. But I've been doing this stuff for a long time, fitting aftermarket body kits and custom body work since I'm a kid. So nothing ever fits as they tell you it's going to fit, and you got to pull your hair out trying to make it fit. So we're using some mineral spirits because this is safe, and it actually will soften up some of the glue. And I'm using a cheap microfiber towel just to go over it and dress up the edge, because we want it to have a factory appearance with no sticky. And if you get any on the shiny part, you could always polish and do whatever you got to do on that, because it is a clear coated finish. And the mineral spirits will not take the color off of the injected molded factory plastic. So for something like this, that's the chemical you use. Do not use lacquer thinner. You will destroy everything if you do that. Okay, just give it a quick wipe over, and that's it. So I already did the other side. I'm going to unmask it, and then I'm going to show you guys when we're all done. I'll put the camera in my hand and I'll give you a quick walk around, so stay tuned. Alright guys, we're all done. Just want to show you, this is the install. You see the seam? It's nice and clean all the way through. So I actually backfilled a little bit over here with the adhesive, and then I cleaned it out with the pick, and then I went over it with the solvent to give it a nice clean OEM natural edge. They look awesome. Let's go to the other side. Same deal, you can see it there. Nice and clean. This is not an install for the faint of heart. You pretty much got to work quick. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know how to dress the edge, clamp it, and everything in between. But I think they look good. I think it complements, you know, the carbon on the skirt and on the front spoiler and the rear spoiler. So there you go, guys. That's the carbon fiber mirror caps in the Alfa Romeo Giulia. And another thing too, like I was explaining to you in the beginning of the video, perfectly flush with the OEM outer trim. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want to have the lip on the mirrors. So it was definitely worth the effort. It took me about an hour to do both sides, and you know, I used the 3M8223. The factory pieces pop off in a matter of seconds just with a little bit of heat, and you pry it from this little corner here, pops right out. So any questions, comments, post them below. If you guys want to do this stuff yourself, now you know exactly how to do it. But if you want to get the better ones, they're going to cost you some money. You're going to have to know how to put them on professionally like this. Otherwise, you're going to buy the laminated OEMs and you're going to have the lip. It depends on how much that bothers you or not, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted it to look OEM. I wanted it to look custom, of course, and that's what I just did for you guys. So see you guys soon. Autofanatic at yahoo.com. Go to my website, auto-fanatic.com. Stay tuned for more Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio content on this channel. See you guys later.